What is going on, guys? Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I tried to get out for a fish, but the weather was rubbish. It just wasn't playing the game. There was a lot of rain, so it made the creeks very milky. So all in all, fishing was tough. We didn't even get a fish, to be honest. I didn't even put the boat in, to be honest. Well, I may as well not have. It just wasn't worth it. As you can see probably by the title of this video, I decided to do something a little bit different for this video. I want to talk about the rods and reels that I use when I'm out fishing. I had a lot of requests to do this, as people are asking what I use, when I use it, how I use it, why I use it. And in this video I'm going to show you why. I'm not just going to say here's a 4000 size straight egg and say nothing about it. I'm going to tell you why I use the reel, how I use the reel, and why I think the reel is best suited for that certain type of fishing that I do. So let's get into it. First up, we're going to start from lightest to heaviest, so that way you can sort of get a broad aspect of my gear and why I choose to do it this way. So the first stick is a Western W8. It is meant for vertical jigging, but I don't use it for that. I use this stick for close quarter, shallow sort of flats, and shallow mangrove fishing. It's matched with a 3000 size CI4. I find it's perfectly balanced, it works well, and it's a great stick to throw. Now, the reason I've gone lighter for this is because this stick probably is the most versatile for me. I like it because I can throw the lighter stuff with this rod, like your unweighted plastics, your really small top water lures. It's fantastic. The CI4, like I said, is matched with 15-pound braid. No, sorry, it's 12-pound braid, and I feel like it just matches really well to the rod. This has caught me some really nice fish, jacks, barra. I've even used it out in the reef, and what's fantastic about it is when I'm running to the reef, I throw a little plastic on there, and because it is a jigging rod, it can handle a little bit heavier lure. So when I'm running out to the reef and I see a tuna, I can make that quick power cast. This rod I've had for a while and has accounted for quite a few of my bigger fish. Monster longtail tuna, queen fish, coral trout, all that kind of stuff. I really love it. Even though it's a jigging rod, I find the tips quite soft, so it's really good for skip casting as well, you know, especially for an egg beater rod. Generally the skip casting happens with your bait caster, but because this is such a soft tip, I can normally get the plastic nice and deep into the mangroves and work it out. So all in all, this is my light setup for the sort of inshore creeks, inshore reefs, and flats and stuff like that. It's fantastic, but I do sometimes get smoked on it when, you know, Murphy's Law. You're in your fish light, get the bite, but you're gonna get smoked as well. All right, next setup. All right, my next setup is a brand new rod that I've got and a brand new reel that I've got as well. It's a JML Sensation Series Donkey Hunter, and it's matched with, again, a Shimano CI4 4000. This reel's got a 30-pound braid on it, excuse the leader mess. Super light combo. I've used it on the reef, I've used it in the creeks, I've used it for everything. Now this is a little bit of a longer rod. It's a 7-foot, one piece, 18 to 25 pound. Yes, I know I'm running 30 on it, but this rod can handle it. It's got a nice sensitive tip, but plenty backbone. And it's quite a fast action rod, which is why I love it. This rod here is sort of my, what I call it, big fish creek rod. So the reason I say that is because when I don't want to get smoked, I pull this out. So I've caught some nice jacks on it, as you've seen in the jack video. I even threw some surface lures with this on the reef, and it works fantastic. So this is sort of my come here rod for inshore. The reason I got this stick is just because I love using the lighter stuff and I love fishing light, but I was just sick of getting smoked. And I needed something that I knew that if I hooked a good fish, I was going to have a chance of stopping it and turning its head, because it just, when you're fishing the creeks here, 99.9% of the time you're going to hook a fish that you're not going to be able to stop, and I needed to stop them. I wanted to stop them, and I was just sick of losing gear. So that there, the JML Sensation Donkey Hunter, matched with the CI4 4000, 30-pound braid. Normally run about, depending on what I chase, 40, 50 or 60-pound leader, but it's fantastic. It works awesome. I love this combo. The rod is absolutely perfect, super light. It's one of those rods you can have in your hand all day and cast and cast and cast, and your hand will never ever get sore. Another great feature about this rod is the versatility. I mean, I can throw plastics this big to plastics, you know, 6-7 inches on it, no problem at all. I love vibing with this rod. I feel like it just brings out a real nice crisp vibe to the vibe. It's fantastic. In one of my videos you saw me catch some coral trout on it and some golden trevally. It works so well, and that's really why I got this rod, to vibe. Alright, so that's that done. Next stick. My next stick, again, is the JML Sensation Trophy Hunter. So the spin is the Donkey Hunter, this one is the Trophy Hunter. It is a 6'8", one piece, 16 to 25 pound rod, and it is absolutely fantastic. I got it matched with a Daiwa Tatula. Guys, value for money, this reel is unbelievable. I'm not really a huge Daiwa fan generally. I love my Shimano, however, really good quality bait caster reels in that lower budget price. I mean, this reel's only about 200 bucks and it's absolutely fantastic. I got that matched with 15-pound braid, and I feel like this combo is on the limit of just being okay. Especially for the type fishing that I do. I do seem to get smoked on this a little bit, however, it is fun, and you know, it's always a good workout when you have a good fish. This rod, being the length that it is and having a soft tip like it does, with plenty of backbone down the back, is perfect for skip casting. This is why I got this rod. I feel as though I can flick it right in the back of the mangroves where the jacks, the barra are hiding, and it's perfect. It's perfectly weighted. I'm trying to find words to explain how much I love this rod, but I can't. I feel as though I have to be like, go out and get it, that's the only way you're going to feel it, or go out into your tackle store and have a feel of it. Because honestly, it's one of those rods that you just pick up and you fall in love straight away. I got the 6.3 Tatula. It's not the high speed, not the Type R, because I don't need to be working the lure fast. All I'm using the reel for is retrieving the slack line and obviously the fish. So when I'm using this reel, it's just a reel and a slack line. Because all my action for the plastic comes from the rod. So for me, this is my go-to plastic stick when I'm throwing those 4, 5, 6 inch plastics deep into the mangroves. Alright, next stick. This next stick of mine is a brand new stick, and this is something I really wanted to get into. I just haven't had the opportunity to, because I didn't have the reel or the rod that was necessary to throw these types of lures. So one of my goals this year was to try and tackle or take on the whole swim baiting craze. It's a super effective way to fish. It means throwing big jointed lures like that. So that there's the JML Ricky the Roach, and really slowly working them through the sticks on the flats, and I guess it's just a very fun way of fishing and a very visual way of fishing. This rod is a JML Execution Monster Hunter, and it is a 7'2" bait caster stick with a line cast of 30 to 40 pounds. And what I love about the stick is it can throw weight from 50 to 130 grams. So for a bait caster rod, that's absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm not a huge fan of 2-piece rods, however, this rod is 2-piece and it does not affect the action of the rod at all. I find this rod absolutely fantastic. It's everything I want for a swim baiting rod. I've got it matched with a Shimano Tranx. This reel was something that I had my eye on for a while. Thank you to my lovely girlfriend for getting it for me for my birthday. So, and it's matched with 30-pound braid, and I generally run about, again, depending on what I'm chasing, 40, 50, 60-pound leader. And it's matched with a 300 Shimano Tranx. It's the HG, so the high gear, so 7.6 gear ratio, so it is quite quick, but these reels were first designed for jigging, micro jigging, that kind of stuff, but they are slowly starting to become quite a renowned swim baiting reel, and that's why I sort of leant towards this over the other brands. It's got a nice big power knob as well, so you know, once you turn the fish you can really start trying to crank it. A nice firm grip on the handle, and it's just a really comfortable rod and reel to use all day. I haven't yet christened this, and I'm dying to. I had my first chance on the weekend, and like I said, just wasn't the right conditions, so I didn't even bother really looking for the fish at all. But again, I got this for throwing swim baits, throwing micro jigs, throwing vibes, but primarily chasing these barra in, you know, heavy structure. Once I hook them, I want to be able to turn them. So I'm very excited to use this. Cannot wait. Next reel. Alright, next reel is my semi-heavy deep sea slash throwing Western swims on a Reef rod. So this rod here is what Robin uses most of the time, as you can see in my videos. Just being a girl, you know, obviously it's a little bit lighter but easier for her to use. Now, as I said before, I'm an avid Shimano lover. That's saying something wrong with Daiwa. I love the Saltigas, I love the Daiwa stuff, but I just love Shimano. So what I have here is a Shimano 10,000 Stella. Again, sorry, excuse the leader hanging off, it's 130 pound, that's just, you know, hanging around. 10,000 Shimano Stella matched with 60 pound braid, matched to a 8-foot rod. Now, the reason I went for 8 foot with this stick is just so Robin can get that longer cast. So the Western Swim 120 is a nice heavy-ish lure, but you know, it is hard for people that don't have that strength to cast it, you know, a mile. It makes life a hell of a lot easier to throw these lures, as the whole rod will obviously load up when she fires it. The reason I went for the 10,000 again is for the weight plus line capacity. I used to have an 8,000, but I just felt like they weren't very nicely balanced compared to the 10. I believe the 8,000 Stella has the most drag out of all of them, but I just felt in terms of balance, it wasn't quite there, and it actually fell off the boat. So I lost it the first day I got it. But anyway, what I love about the stick is the versatility, I guess. Again, if I'm not, you know, throwing Western swims on the flats, where there's a Robin's not using it for Western swims, you know, it's perfect for bottom bashing as well. Being quite long, it sort of, I felt it was going to limit me, but you know, she uses it for all things, and it really works well. I love the Stellas. I cannot fault them. I've never had an issue with them. I went 2 years without servicing them, thought it'd be time for a service, threw it into the service guy, and he said it didn't need a service. So I love these reels. They are quite expensive, but tell you what, put the money in, you buy the quality, and you're gonna get quality back. That's just the way it is. It's like a bank. The more you put in, the more you get out. So if you have the cash and you can invest, do it. I love them. This guy is probably due for a re-spool very soon. And let me know actually if you guys want to see a re-spooling video. But yeah, this is the combo that Robin uses. She loves it. It's got plenty of backbone. As you can see, she gets GTs, trout, everything. So this works really well. But that's my 10,000. Right, next combo. Alright, my next one again is a Shimano Stella. I've had a lot of questions about this reel because the spool is different. I actually have the original spool in the fishing room. The reason I went this spool is actually because it cools the drag washers when you are getting smoked. So that's the reason why this Stella here looks a little different to, for example, that one there. You see that's the original spool. That's the aftermarket spool. The reason I went this spool also is, like I said, it's on a 14,000 Stella. However, it does have 16,000 spool capacity, so it means I can hold a full length of 300 meter braid, 80 pound, no worries at all. Now, normally this stick that it's on now is matched with my 18,000 Stella, but because I don't have a stick at the moment for myself throwing the swims, I just use this stick. It is a 8 foot, 60 to 80 pounds, so it's perfect for stick baits and stuff. I am looking at getting a nice popping rod for the 18,000 Stella, but that's down the track for now. I don't really need it at the moment. It's better suited to myself to throw all day. However, it is quite versatile. Being slightly bigger, I get a little bit of a fast retrieve. However, there's a downside of it being heavier. A bloke can throw that no worries all day, and it's really not an issue at all. It's a great reel. I highly recommend the 14,000s. I love them personally for weight and balance. I think they're bloody fantastic. Again, I cannot fault it. Right, next rod. Alright, last but not least, well, it's not my last rod, but the other rods I don't have reels on them at the moment. Last but not least is my 18,000 Stella. So this is the big girl. This one here I specifically got for popping for GTs. It's got a 110 pound braid on it with a 200 pound leader tied with a pretty mad FG knot if you ask me quietly. think it's probably the best one. I don't know if you can see that. Is that blending in for me too much? The skin? I don't know. Have a look. I got this one for a few reasons. One, bigger reel, more line capacity. I can stop those fellas because I tell you what, they pull hard, especially when you hook those monsters, which I have, and even sometimes that isn't enough. 2, drag. 3, I can really try and get into detail as to why I got this reel, when, why, how, all that stuff. But to be honest, I really only got it to stop the big GTs, and even then, sometimes this isn't enough. But I give it a right royal crack. Sometimes I can just cut the spool, being a big spool, and pray they don't smash me up. But 18,000 stellar is one of my favourites. It's quite heavy, bloody hard throwing it all day, but you know what, it's a fantastic reel. Quality is unbelievable. Also guys, I'm going to do a bit of a giveaway. I'm not going to announce what it is right now. I'll announce that on my Instagram 1 week from the day this video drops, so make sure you guys stay on top of that as well. And that is it guys. I decided to do this, like I said, just to give you guys an insight as to what I use, why I use it, and when I use it. These are my go-to rods. I have a few more, but this is my main arsenal. This is what I use. This is what I use when I go out to chase the fish that I want to catch. Is there other gear on the market? Yeah, there is. And does the other gear do the same thing? Yeah, it probably does. But this is what I love. I try and go for as light as possible to do the job as best as possible. So as always guys, thank you so much for watching. It's a little bit different, but I hope I answered all your questions. If you have any more, put a comment below and I will definitely answer them. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, please subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thanks guys.